No, but at least y'all liking the live. Welcome back, everybody. Happy holiday season. It's after Christmas. I'm feeling under the weather. I don't know what I'm fighting, but unfortunately, while traveling, I got sick. Um, so I haven't been on live. I haven't been posting videos. I'm feeling a little better. I think this round of sleep is going to help me. Anyways, we're going to talk about the power of a lot of things. But the first thing I want to talk about is the power of no. I think that this will really almost be talking points from a retired people pleaser. I don't know about y'all. I can honestly say I'm a retired people pleaser. I didn't realize how much I wanted to people please until I realized how expensive my yes has become. I wanted everybody to like me. I like how people had all these friends. They had people posting about them, celebrating them, showing up to their birthday parties, getting them birthday gifts. And I wanted that. I love how on movies you see women that have been friends for 20 plus years, have been through with them and friends with them through different seasons of their lives, going through marriage, childbearing, divorce, parents passing away. Like I enjoyed watching movies where I saw friendships that could stand the test of time. And so in my mind, that made me believe that maybe I'm not open enough to the idea of friendship. Maybe I'm not doing enough. And that made me turn into a people pleaser. So I titled the video the power of, because I just have a feeling that this conversation is going to go so many different places. And I didn't want to just limit it to the power of friendship, the power of no, the power of yes. I just wanted the power of, and then as always, TikTok always shows out. Keep liking the live as y'all come in. I'm fighting something, so I'm gonna let y'all talk if anything today. Today's a good day to let y'all talk. So the power of no is where I'm gonna start. But I also wanted to backtrack and show and kind of talk about how I got to realize and tap into the power of no. I was a people pleaser to the point where anytime someone asked me to do something, I would do it, and I would do it like flawlessly. Like I acted like the moment I said yes to doing something for someone, I executed. I went above and beyond. I was a woman of my word, and I always gave more than I was receiving. And in my mind, you know what they say, if you knew better, you do better. At that time, in my mind, I believe because I was giving this stellar service when I said yes, I was going to have all these friends, all these support groups, all these people that love and praise me. It was like I was seeking validation. Yeah, let's talk about it. But what I realized, every time I said yes, every time I showed up for people, every time I did the most, all I did was open up a big old target on my back for people to use me. I didn't become friends with amazing people. I became friends with users. I became friends with people who would just come around, take what they can get out of me, and leave. And the moment that I asked for just a simple thing back in return, they had every excuse as to why they couldn't give it to me, while still asking me to do the most. This is why I say I'm a retired people pleaser. I'm a retired pick-me-sha. I'm a retired Barbara the Builder. I don't build anymore. Now I want to move in and decorate. So it had gotten so bad to the point where I remember a girl asking me to be in her wedding. I'm thinking it's an honor to be asked to be in this wedding, y'all, because weddings are sacred. Weddings are for unions. The people you see in them wedding photos, you think they've been friends for 30 plus years, all their life, middle school, grad school, all that. But then I realized weddings are really for show. When you see people with these big elaborate bridal parties, a lot of those people are not there for the marriage. They're just there for the wedding, the photo opportunity. I didn't realize at that moment when that person was asking me to be in their bridal party for their wedding, I was being invited to the wedding. I was not being invited to the marriage. I was not being invited to be a friend, to be someone to hold them accountable during their marriage. I was only being asked to be a part of the wedding so they could get my labor for free. Because what is something we do as adults when we're moving? We ask our friends, hey, Arthur, You so silly. What is something we ask our friends when we're moving? We ask our friends, can they help us move? Can they help us paint a wall for free in exchange for pizza? Because we're pimping our friendship. Now, it's not all the time, but this is how it was. I later realized the question was really set up to make me believe I was being invited into a long term friendship that would be a part of the marriage, and outside of the marriage. But really, I was being asked to do free labor. And in order to get that free labor, I had, me agreeing to being a part of the bridal party was how I came into contract with the free labor. I was in charge of booking the makeup artist. And I think that's a big deal. You're in charge of booking the makeup artist. That means you know your stuff. The makeup is what every person's face is going to be beat to the gods for and taking photos. And that's one of the things people are going to look back on when they're looking at their wedding photos is how everybody looks, especially the bridal party. So I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm being asked to be responsible for the makeup. She must know I know my stuff. I don't play about my beat. I found a makeup artist that did a free trial. What that basically means is she can pay to do her makeup before the wedding, obviously, like weeks before the wedding. If she agrees to book the makeup artist, then on the day of her wedding, it's free. So you basically got your makeup done twice. One was the trial run, and the second was the day of the wedding, and you only got charged for one service. So then I also was able to get a makeup artist to do the bridal party's makeup. But when I was reaching out to all these women, none of them were responding. I'm fighting a cold, y'all. None of them were responding. I tried getting the bride to step in, like, what's going on? And these are women I'm texting that are her friend group that she's been in a sorority with. She's known these women for at least 15 years. And they didn't even have enough respect to respond when I was asking them, hey, are you booking your makeup? And to add insult to injury, when it came the day of the wedding, and the women that had enough respect to respond and book the appointment through me, because I was the person of communication, and paid their deposit, everybody enjoyed their makeup. They were so happy. It took off a lot of stress that day, having to get your dress ready, your hair in place, and now you have a makeup artist that you just have to go over to one room. It's all set up, and they'll do your makeup. The women that did not respond to my texts were frantic. The women that didn't have enough respect and courtesy to tell me if they're booking that were completely silent for 6 months. We had 6 months to get ready for this wedding. They're now coming into my room while I'm trying to get ready on this busy day. Hey, is it too late to book the makeup artist? And I look at them dead in their face. All respect had gone out the window because I have been harassing you for 6 months trying to figure out, do you want to get your makeup done? So the wedding planner, the makeup artist has time to come early enough and have enough time scheduled so she's not rushing to make you look good for your friend's wedding. They come into the room while I'm getting ready. I'm trying to adjust my, zip up my dress. One is asking me for like a safety pin. And I'm looking at her like, there are 6 other girls in this room. Why are you coming to me? Another one came in and said, is it too late to book the makeup artist? And I look her dead in the eye. And I told her, the makeup artist is over there. Why don't you go ask her yourself? And she looked at me like I had some audacity. It made me saying yes too much gave me a backbone. Me saying yes to helping so many people, me trying to be a people pleaser, it made me grow a backbone when I seen that it was attracting people that only wanted to use me. I had no choice but to grow a backbone. It drained me. It made me exhausted. It made me resentful that I even wasted my amazing skills to put something together that you would just ignore. And then you came around, you wanted me to fix your mess up. You didn't respond to the text of, do you want to get your makeup done? You didn't respond to my phone calls. You didn't respond when the bride reached out to you. And now the day of the wedding, and you're seeing all these girls have ample time to get ready. They have the stress taken off their back to be able to do their makeup. Now you're asking me the day of the wedding, now the big day. But 6 months ago, you didn't respond. But today you're asking me, is it too late to book? Why are you asking me? The makeup artist is here. I try to be the middleman. I try to be the communicator. You can go ask the makeup artist. So the girl kind of looked at me dumbfounded that I had a backbone, because I guess me taking that crap of them not responding and respecting my time made them believe I was soft. And that may have been true in that moment, but the disrespect built me. So when I looked at her and I said, you need to go ask the makeup artist. And she's like, well, aren't you the one in charge of booking? I was like, yep, I am in charge of booking. And now that the makeup artist is here, you can go there and ask her. Because when I asked you 6 months ago and I pulled up the text thread in the group chat, I was like, wow, I don't see a text from you in sight for 6 months. Now you want me to stop what I'm doing, mess up the way I'm going to present myself to help you out? I tried to help you out 6 months ago. You didn't want my help then. You want it now. Now that the safety net is gone, now that you see everybody's face is looking good, I can't stand when people disrespect my time. It's a pet peeve that I have. Now that everybody's makeup is done, they're not stressing about if they put it on right. Is the bride going to like it? Now that you see the stress I tried to help you avoid, you think I'm going to save you. I'm not going to save you. I tried to save you 6 months ago. And I'm saying the power of because the more you realize how powerful you are, and you don't have to audition or fight for your value to prove something to people, the more respected you will be. So I don't know if she ever spoke to the makeup artist or not. I have no idea. I know that the girls that booked, they literally, hand to God, were thanking me. All of them that booked the makeup artist, when they were done getting their makeup done, they came to me and thanked me in person. And those are the people I realized that no matter what, they're genuinely grateful. They had respect from the beginning. They communicated effectively. They booked. They made it easy. They paid their deposit. And we got a group discount because there was so many of us. It was us, the bride, and 6 other women. So we got a group discount. We didn't even pay the full price for makeup. And now you're trying to add your service. You're trying to add yourself in. You don't know what else that makeup artist had to do. It just showed me that person that's how they are. They're disrespectful. They didn't care for your time to communicate. They didn't care for the makeup artist's time. They just thought they could get what they could get at the moment that they wanted it and needed it. And that was SOL for them. We're all getting our hair done. We're all getting our makeup done. And the people that didn't get their makeup done, I saw that they would try to pull me away for other tasks like I was the help. No, I'm a part of this bridal party. Why is it that when I'm in a full face of makeup, my hair done laid to the side, you're asking me to move chairs and do labor? And I'm looking around like, you want me to sweat in my makeup and then take pictures? And then they're suddenly scrambling to find the men to do it. Like, it didn't make sense. I had to learn early on in my people-pleasing stage, in my Barbara the Builder stage, in my too nice stage, that there are times in life where you have to return the disrespect. It's just a part of nature. It's just like when people say, oh, people know who to mess with. People know the weakest link. Don't let them know you're weak, or it's going to attract more disrespect. I'm telling you, it's going to attract disrespect from people that are not even that powerful, but they see that you're weak and they need to make a name for themselves, and you're an easy target in order to make that name for themselves. Hey, live, can I get some emojis in the chat? He didn't use buzzwords. Oh, I don't know what YouTube talking about. Can I get some emojis in the chat? So I wanted to start it off with the power of no, because it's when I realized that I had to stop it. Thank you for the emojis, y'all. Keep dropping them. It's when I realized that being a people pleaser was crippling me, that I grew a backbone, and I was okay with it because now I became happier. That's one instance. Oh my gosh, there was another instance. I was dating this guy long term, and even though he had a healthcare profession, like he had his degree and license and everything, every person he hung around was a scammer. I was like the cleanup crew. I was able to look at every poor behavior his friend had, and I was like, you need to get rid of this person. This person is not for long term. No mean, I got emoji here. No, don't mean New Orleans. It means freedom. Hey, YouTube. Another instance where I had to learn no. This is completely the first time I'm ever sharing this story. I was dating a guy. He has his degree and he has his license. He's in the healthcare field, is what I will say. And I was at the time working in short-term loans for like houses, mortgages. So I was doing foreclosure, short-term loans. You look so good. My goodness. Oh, thank you. I'm working on my skin. And so I'm working basically on the call center where people are trying to refinance their loan. And my boyfriend's homeboy at the time says to me, you know, we can make a lot of money. And I'm looking at him crazy. What do you mean we can make a lot of money? I have a job. And he says, all I need you to do, keyword was me. I'm the sacrificial lamb. All I need you to do is get these people's dates of birth and social security number. And I looked at him like he was on drugs. I looked at him like he just did a line of coke in front of me. He just did a line of something in front of me. I got to be careful because TikTok is real crazy about how I word things. I looked at him and I ran to my man so fast. I said, he wants me to commit fraud. That's what that is. You want me to get people sensitive information and give it to you so you can sell on the black market? All I need for you to do? Are you crazy? This good 9 to 5 that I have that gives me a W-2, you want me to give you people's social security, date of birth, so you can commit fraud? You as a man is asking me, a woman, hey girl, asking me as a woman to commit fraud for you. I'm not even your girlfriend. I'm dating your homeboy. Okay, you so pretty. Okay, hey girl. What? Hey girly pops. Hey, YouTube. And so when I told my man, like, your homeboy just asked me, when I go into work, can I get people's social security numbers and dates of birth? And I left that conversation there. I never seen that man again. Thank you, Jesus. Because why would you be asking your homeboy's girlfriend to get people's social security numbers and dates of birth? I'm an accomplice because I'm the source giving it to you. When I sign on to the job, any of y'all, when y'all sign a contract for a company and they know you're going to have sensitive information and they know you're going to be working from home or working whatever, you're signing and saying that I'm trustworthy, I'm reliable. When they're doing background checks on you and they see you don't have any, any previous charges, they trust you. What do I look like throwing away that trust for a scammer? Like, it just told me he was so weak. What the hell he right? It just told me he was so weak as a man that he wanted me to help him commit fraud. He couldn't get his own job to make money. He thought about scamming and draining me with him. I told my man so fast. I said, he's asking me to commit fraud, mess my life up. I'm not even dating him. I'm dating his homeboy. Why would he feel comfortable asking me that question? Come to find out, months later, my boyfriend found out he was that same homeboy that asked me to commit fraud for him was stealing from him. You see what I'm saying? Some people, this is what they've been on. It doesn't matter what you do, how nice of a person you are, how kind, forgiving. That's just the person's nature. They're a thief, they're going to be a thief. They're a fraud, they're going to be a fraud. There's nothing, you can never be too nice for a scammer, okay? If anything, you're the perfect target because you're too nice. And then one other story I want to share about him before I go on with the topic. He had a tax man that had been doing his taxes for years. Remember I told y'all when I was dating this guy, I was finding out everyone around him was a scammer. It kind of made me think he was a scammer, but it's like, how is he a scammer when he has his degree and he's in the medical field? Like, he's finishing up school now. Like, his whole family, they all have degrees. They're all from people of value and have morals and they love Jesus, right? So he had a tax man. He's been doing his taxes for years. So, it's natural that I'm dating this guy's tax season. He's like, you can go to my tax man. Okay, cool. I'm going to your tax man. Did you drop your boyfriend? Me and him ended up breaking up later on. Yes, girl. So what happened was I had my own homeboy that I've been friends with at the time for like 5 years. And he told me how my homeboy told me that his sister found out their tax man was scamming. There was a scam that they were doing that when you selected the direct deposit option, what they're doing on the back end of the paperwork is before the direct deposit goes into your account, they're taking an additional percentage and putting it in their account. Now, when you do taxes, that's how you pay your tax man. When you do direct deposit, they just take their amount. We had already agreed upon a certain amount on the paper, but we didn't know. It's because my homeboy told me it happened to his sister that even though you agreed on a certain amount in paper, when you pick the electronic direct deposit option, they can take out an additional fee. I don't need a tax person that can break the law, but if you bend the law, okay. So what happened was when my homeboy told me this happened to his sister is married with 3 kids at the time, or I think 2 kids. So when he told me that, something sent me, love you so much. Thank you, girl. Y'all keep liking the live and keep throwing emojis. So something told me, why would my homeboy randomly tell me this story about his sister getting scammed out of her tax money? Let me double check something. So what I did was I looked at my last tax return and I called the processor. There's a system it has to go through. So when you file your taxes, they go through a system and you call the actual system processor and they can tell you exactly how the payment is being issued. So I called the system processor and I said, hey, I see that my deposit is about to hit my account for this amount. They said, correct. I said, what was the total amount before you split up the proceeds? And he was like, 3 different amounts are coming out. And I'm like, 3? Why would there be 3 different amounts coming out of my tax return when the tax man already got paid? The tax man was having his fee come out, which we agreed upon. He was having the remainder going to my account, but there was a third fee that he was not telling us about that he added on at the end. So when I looked and seen he was charging me an additional almost $700, I called my man so fast. I called my man. I said, and he said, and obviously as a man, that's his homeboy. You know how men are with their friends. You have to come with real solid evidence for them to like actually take this as a serious thing that you're saying to them. I called my man. I told him exactly how I found out. I told him, hey, my homeboy said this scam was going on. So I called the processor that's processing our payment, and they confirmed he's taking out an additional $700. My man was hesitant at first. He said, babe, when I get home, we're going to talk about it. Okay, 24 hours go by because I'm at my mama's house. He at his mama's house. We were in our early teens dating. Well, I was 20. He was 24 or 22. So the next day we see each other, and I'm a Virgo, y'all. I'm a Virgo. So I was like, I came with the receipts. Here go the receipts right here, y'all. Okay. So I came with the receipts, and we even call on speaker the processing company. Now we get all his paperwork. We double checked mine and noticed there was a $700 additional being taken out. Then we called on his, over the phone, talking to the processor, confirming social security numbers, all that. And they're confirming there's an additional $700 coming out of his account. Mind you, my boyfriend at the time trusted this tax man so much. He had other people going to him. So he called another friend, his homegirl. She was expecting her first baby. So, you get extra money when you're expecting a child. So he called her, and she's like, I don't know, I got to check. We literally drive to this girl's house, and it's him and her, and they're making the phone call. I'm minding my business because he just want to double check to make sure like every step I did is what's happening with her. So they call, they confirm an additional $700 is coming out of her check. So this tax man was filing our taxes, taking out his fee and charging an additional $700 and not telling us. My man was heated. We went to the tax man office. He was like, oh, I got to talk to you. The IRS called me talking about something with my taxes. That's what he lied and said so he wouldn't pick up on the fact that we figured out what he was doing. At that time, he has been doing our taxes for at least 2 years. Okay, this is year 3. So for the last 2 years, when you've done our taxes, you've been taking out this $700 additional fee and not telling us you're taking it out. So we go down to the office, and my man just presents everything in front of him. He said, what is this fee, this $700 fee you didn't tell me about? This man is visibly shaking. You can see his hands like this. Like he's trying to stay cool and calm, and he's stuttering. And he's like, I don't know what your girl talking about, because he told the tax man, I'm there. He told the tax man, my girl found out you charge an extra $700. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I already told you the processing fee, the system fee, the da-da-da-da-da. My man was so calm, cool, and collective. He said, all right, bruh. And we left. And I looked at him and I was like, is that it? He's like, he's obviously lying. He's shaking. His voice is cracking. I'm not going to fight him over $700. That's a felony. I went to his business. I'm picking a fight. And if we fight at his establishment, that's a charge on me. And then I won't be able to have my license and make my money. I said, oh, you right. You right. You thinking. Now you thinking. Okay. I was so ratchet back then. I was so nuck if you buck. Can y'all keep liking the live? Thank you. I was so stuck in my ways of let's just fight. That's how I used to think. Let's just fight. I don't want to argue. Let's just fight and see who wins. And then that's who wins. You know what I mean? At that time, that's when he's realizing, dang, all the people around me, the only reason why the friendship is lasting is because they get to use me. They get to use me for their benefit. And I'm saying that to say, I had to get taken advantage a bunch of times to realize how powerful my no needs to be. I cannot be throwing around the word yes when someone asks me to do something. I can't be saying yes to everything because it's costing me on the back end. It's costing me long term. And when I started to tell people no, when I stopped being a people pleaser, when I stopped trying to build people up, when I stopped trying to see the good in people when they weren't that great, that's when I really started to grow. That's when I really started to see, oh, this person isn't for me. This friendship isn't for me. This person doesn't wish me well. And guess what I started to discover? A lot of friendships only lasted because I was the sacrifice. Y'all hear me? Like the live. Drop an emoji, actually. Drop an emoji if you hear what I'm saying. When I say no, they turn on me. That's what I'm saying. Interact with me. Don't just be sitting here listening to me. Interact with me. Talk. When I started telling people no, when I started getting the backbone, me right now, it sucks. When I started standing on my 2 little 5'1" feet, that's when I started to realize the world around me and how people would utilize my yes and try to turn me bitter and try to make me angry and try to make me turn into something I'm not. I love being nice. When I began to glow up, I've been struggling to say no because I hate when people tell them no. I understand, but I'm sharing my story of how all them yeses turned me into the sacrifice. When you're in a position and you're doing well for yourself, there will come a time where you will need help. And because you say yes so much, you're only attracting the people that will never help you. You're only attracting the people that are coming around to steal from you, to take from you. And the moment you turn around, you need some of that back, they're going to look at you like, I don't have it. I'm going to share another story. I'm taking notes, but I'm trying to make this interactive. I don't want to be the only one talking. Can y'all relate to what I'm saying? Is this going in one ear and out the other? I'm seeing like barely any likes, but I'm seeing 25 people in here. So I'm like, do y'all even vibe of what I'm saying? Am I talking to myself? I'm checking the temperature of the room right now. Okay. And obviously I have another story. When I started learning to say no, I started learning to walk away silently because you dropping gems. Thank you. Sometimes when you think you want closure, you're putting yourself in a very dangerous situation wanting closure. Here's another story because I have so many stories and I want y'all to learn from my mistakes. I've had to say no to family before. That was true freedom for me. I love that. I had a friend, I've been friends with this person for 15 years, y'all. That's a long time. 15 years. We known each other since middle school. And I noticed when I started coming out of my people-pleasing phase and I started saying no more often, I started to notice that every time I told this person no, they needed an explanation. And last time I checked, y'all put in the chat, yes or no. When you say no, is that a complete sentence? Yes or no? When you say no to someone with no explanation, is no a complete sentence? Currently going through this, but feeling hurt. I got 1 yes. Okay, 2 yes, 1 yup. Okay. Anyone else? When you say no, is no a complete sentence? Talk to me, chat. When you say no to people, is it a complete sentence? It's a very simple question. Hold on, I got something. Yes, I learned this hard way in business and relationships. Had to cut off business relationship because they were taking advantage of me and stealing my money, girl. Yep, complete sentence. Yes, not for me. What do you mean not for me, Pooch? Which turned me into having to chase. Wait, hold on. Which turned to having me chase money and explain I need my money. Yup. And as soon as I set some boundaries, I was the bad one. Yup. Ugh. I'm gonna play a song on my iPad, but I'm gonna work y'all through this. Oh, she's talking about how she's going through that now. She has to do that with her family. So let me tell you the other story about how my no made me realize I was attracting users. People that use other people, yes, but people want explanations for your no. Maybe that's why I'm wrong. I give an explanation. Don't give an explanation. Let me explain something to you. I was friends with this guy for 15 years, y'all. This is my first time actually making a whole story time about this. Anytime this person needs something from me, it was always yes. When looking back on the friendship, there was not a no in sight. My yes was always yes with him. Whatever he needed, I'm there, cool, we're good, right? But when I started to come out of my people-pleasing stage and I started to say no, I started to realize that when I said no to this person, they always wanted an explanation. And then that started making a different part of my brain think. Keep liking alive, y'all. Thank you. That made a different part of my brain think, why does this person need an explanation when I say no? You know how many times I've said yes? No was a new word to him coming from me, right? Here's the thing. It got to the point where I like this comment on YouTube that you're telling me about money, because that's exactly what broke the camel's back. Those who want an explanation for no are those that capitalize on your yes. This is a very good comment. And because it's such a great comment, I have to pin it because it's leading me up to what I'm telling y'all. Hold on. Okay. When I started saying no, this person always wanted an explanation. It'd be small things. It'd be, let's go hang out down in Miami, in Wynwood. And I'd be like, no. You know what this person would do? They would call me later on that night, even though I said no. When I didn't answer, they'd call me multiple times, 2 to 3 times. Then the next morning, they would text me and say, oh, wow, you're being a grandma. I said, let's go to Wynwood. Like they had ownership of me. What's this comment say? Expecting an explanation for your no, I see as an act of manipulation, like trying to make you second guess yourself. Definitely. That's on YouTube. That's why y'all don't see on TikTok. I'm live on both platforms. YouTube, TikTok over here, YouTube over here. So when this person basically was saying, you're acting like a grandma because I don't want to do what they want to do. Here's another time I had to tell them no, because again, the no started rolling in because I'm realizing he only respects when I can give him something in exchange for something. So another time was he started asking me to borrow money and when I say it was a pain in the butt to get my money back. It was such a pain in the butt. I remember it's when I first started traveling. This is when all of a sudden he started need to borrow money. This is a man asking a woman. I've had a male friend ask me to borrow money before. It never been a problem. He paid it when he said he was going to pay it. I'd have to chase him or nothing. That made me have respect for him. Okay. But this friend in particular is a different person. And they never had respect enough to pay it back when they said they're going to pay it back. They almost acted like I gave them money, like it was free. Mind you, what was so degrading about it, they're asking me to borrow money. I have a high school diploma. They have their bachelor's degree. They would brag about making 6 figures. They would brag about all this income they have. And then they would say subliminal things like, I don't know how people without college degrees are making it. The real question is, how are you making it? And you're asking someone with a high school diploma to borrow money. That should have been the real question. I experienced the same thing. So as I'm telling this person, no, the worst, that's the worst. No respect for your money or time. I feel like that's a double disrespect. Wasting my time, wasting my money. This person, it's when I first started traveling. I remember getting off the plane. I done posted all these pictures. I done had a great time in a foreign country. And they called me. I didn't answer the first time. I answered the second time. They said, oh, I'm so happy you answered. My mom's not answering the phone. I need to borrow some money. And I'm thinking to myself, why does this person feel comfortable asking me to borrow money, but they brag about having a college degree and making all this money? Poor money management skills. And I remember them saying, here's the thing. This is why I thank God every day for Sure 7. Y'all be thinking Sure 7 advice is just for dating. You can apply her advice to friendships. You can literally apply her advice to friendships. I remember asking this same person, how do you feel about friends borrowing money? You know, he says to me, I don't believe in letting friends borrow money because that will ruin the friendship, while asking me to borrow money. So you only believe in borrow money when it's on your side and you benefit from it because they are being enabled. Why save their money when they can get yours? Exactly. But I feel like as a man, how do you feel asking a woman? How do you feel asking a woman to dig in her purse and help you out? Even my younger brother, sometimes I'm like, hey, do you need help with anything financially? My brother's like, no. He look at me like I'm silly for saying that to him. And he's my younger brother. And you're telling me a whole grown man birthed in this world is asking me for money and has no shame or ever pay. Or has no expectations of paying it back is even weirder to me. As a man, how do you even call yourself a man? You're asking women to borrow money that you don't have any intention of paying back. I got too much male ego for that. It was weird to me. So then when they called me, back to the story, they're telling me they're at a gas station and they're out of money. They need money for whatever their reason was. I had let him borrow money before several times, y'all. It got so bad to the point where he owed another mutual friend money. And he asked me if I can pay back the person he owes money to and he'll pay me back. I was like, no. What? He's saying y'all don't have a friendship, subs all through his point of view. Basically. So when he calls me and tells me he's at the gas station, his mom not answering the phone, and they complain when people don't pay them back, but lagging, paying back yourself. So when he calls me and tells me he's at the gas station, he's stranded, he need to borrow some money, I tell him, No. Yet again. He's like, oh, okay. Mind you, he had already owed me from another situation. And when I called him sometime later and asked him about that money, you know, he told me, y'all want to know? Y'all just guessed in the chat when he told me when I asked him for the money back that he owed me, that I let him borrow. Just take a guess. I know none of y'all finna guess it, unless I've told y'all the story before. Come on, chat, respond. Well, I get some water in me. He said, what money? That's funny. I like that. You will never be broke. I'm going to tell y'all, I'll give it to you in a week. He doesn't feel obligated. He thought you gave it to him. You know, he told me when I asked him for my money back, y'all. And that's how you know these people don't even have credit, because if they did, you wouldn't have to borrow my money. Exactly, girl. You know, he told me when I asked him for my money back, he asked, how is he to pay back when he just asked for money? Girl, he told me his mom has it. I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. I called him and said, hey, what happened to the money? You know, you said you're going to pay it back. It's days after the day he said he's going to pay it back. Like I told y'all, every time I asked him back for the money back he owed me, he told me his mom has it. I'm not making this up. Grown 30-year-old man, grown, talks about all his accomplishments, how he's well off, how he makes 6 figures. He told me my mom has it. What does that have to do with me? I did not hand the money to your mom. Why are you even telling me your mom has it? You should have been telling me when I'm going to get my money back. And that was literally the last time I ever let him borrow money. One thing about a man will always have is audacity. Girl, credit is very underrated. It's crazy. Many people, family, millennials, sadly, don't care about building credit. When I told my friend, this is before I moved to Texas. This was like 3 years ago. After I got mine back, I blocked him. When I told my friend what happened, my friend was like, he couldn't get a payday loan. He don't have a credit card. And I like this comment on YouTube because that's the thing that is making me think. You don't even have a credit card you could put that on? You can't go get a payday loan? And you know, if you get a payday loan, you're going to owe money plus interest. You're borrowing this money interest-free from a woman. That's when I lost all respect for him. That's when I felt like this is not a friendship. Maxed out, honey. That's the moment when I started saying no to people. That's when I started to realize how many people were around me and benefiting off of my yes. And that's why I'm thinking I have these friendships that I don't really have. I'm friends with people that are using me. Y'all be thinking y'all are not that great. You're not that aspirational. You're not this wonderful person. If you weren't this wonderful creature, this wonderful being, why do so many people come around to use you? It's because you don't see a lot in your gift. You don't see a lot in your ability. I didn't realize my kindness was literally crippling me, was making people around me come around to use me. You think being nice is going to attract people that are going to be nice to you? Oh, she's so nice. Let's just give her what she wants. You're attracting people that are using you. Every time you say yes and you don't think about your yes long term, what is this person getting out of it? And asking probing questions. Every time you just open your mouth and say yes, you're opening up a window to other things you didn't even know you were signing up for. Too nice equals insecurity. I agree 100%. Once I started realizing my no needs to be heavier. I need to say no more often than I'm saying yes, because this yes has gotten me into a wedding I don't want to be a part of. I've gotten disrespected from the bridesmaids that are not my friends, that I don't know. I don't even talk to the girl that I helped throw her wedding, have her wedding, get her makeup artist. That yes got me in a relationship with a man that had a great career, but all his homeboys are scammers. That yes that I gave away so freely got me scammers asking me, can I use people's social security cards and give it to them and their dates of birth? That yes got me scammed out of my tax money, trusting that my man was making a good financial decision when he wasn't even double checking their work. That yes got me a male friendship that would come around to use me. All of these yeses was building the very thing I didn't want. I wanted long-term healthy friendships. Instead, I was attracting long-term users. Okay. There's big power in no. Very true. Okay. Being nice and saying yes too quickly attracts narcissists in all aspects of life, friends, relationships, and business. Girl, the word yes has effed me over so many times. I'm telling you. So let's fast forward to, well, let me give you a little bit more information about that last story, and then we're going to fast forward to the next part. Saying no has got me called names, but it gave me respect. That same person that would ask me to borrow money and not pay it back was borrowing other people's money around him and not paying it back. I had to cut him off. I blocked him. We still follow each other on social media, but he has no way of texting me, reaching out to me. He's just gonna be an internet friend moving forward. I still got cut off after babysitting, dog sitting, and house sitting for years for free. Exactly. And the reason why the cutoff came, when I moved to Texas and I started developing me, the Melinda you see right now that goes on live, I never used to go on live, y'all. This is new. The Melinda that started putting herself out there, going for brand deals, doing the content creation, lifestyle content, all that, that Melinda triggered a different side of that man. I remember just posting a simple video of me cooking something to eat. Do you know that man messaged me in my inbox? Because remember, y'all, I told y'all he blocked on my phone, so he can't even text my phone. I can't even make this up. This man, seeing me be in Houston, living my best life, knowing that he good for nothing with his money, but he trying to brag about making all this money, he started to see me live a life he wasn't used to me seeing. He started to see the high rise, the floor to ceiling windows, the 24th floor, the me getting the life that I've always seen for myself. And I think it became a competition about money because suddenly he would start to brag about money. He never, remember I told you I've known this man for 15 years. He never, ever, 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 ever talked about money. But as soon as I moved out of state and my property is looking better, my hair's looking better, everything about me is evolving. Now he want to talk about money. I had went home for the holidays for my brother's wedding. We went to go have wine somewhere. One of the first thing he says to me, oh, I got a new job. Now I make $175,000 a year. Why are you telling me how much you make? We never talked about money in the 15 years we've known each other. We never talk about money. We never talk about how much somebody makes, whatever, blase, blase. Why are you now wanting to brag about all this money you make, knowing damn well you be borrowing people money and you don't like to pay it back? That's the guy I know. So it felt like he was seeing all of these things happening, competing with himself. Yeah, he was seeing all these things happening for me, and he was trying to figure out where am I financially. Well, I can tell you that doesn't matter how much you make because I never had to open my mouth and ask you to borrow money. Hand to God, right? Okay. Girl, the word yes. Oh, you didn't say nothing new. My bad. Okay. So the real cutoff was when I posted a video of me doing something so simple as cooking. And he says to me, I'm so happy I have friends that can cook like me. Again, making it about him. Then I laugh. And like I told y'all, Shira 7 advice, not only for relationships. I heard Shira 7 in my mind. And I replied and said, in a sarcastic way, like Shira 7 says, be nice, nasty when you see how people are mistreating you. I said, I'm so sorry you see me as the maid service. I'm not the help. Okay? Because what does me cooking this dish and putting it online have to do with you thinking I can cook like you? What? How did I miss the cooking videos? I stopped making cooking videos because there were so many men asking me to cook for them. Some of them were married. There was a point in time I was selling plates out of my house in Florida, and these married men were asking me to come to my house to get a plate of food. And I could smell the BS from the moment I read the message. That's why you missed the cooking videos. Because it was attracting low-class men that thought they had a free pass to cheat on their wife. For them, for some reason, when they see a woman cooking, they think free labor, free something. And that's when I had to get away from cooking videos to attract better quality men. A man should not be attracted to me because I'm good at cooking, cleaning. That means you're attracted to my labor. You're not attracted to me as a woman, okay? That's why you don't see cooking videos anymore. This is how disgusting men are. I'm just trying to, and this is why I empathize with cooking with Kaya. Sis made a video, the internet went crazy, and when she talked about her financial hardship, all these men were trying to give her $40 for a piece of butt, not for no plate of food. That's why I had to stop doing cooking videos. And hats off to the women that are professional chef, because that field is so hard. There are so many men that the moment they see you cooking and cleaning, they think it's the 1800s. They think you're going to do it for free. They think you're doing it for their attention, for their time. They see you as a slave, as a worker. They don't see you as a woman. They see you as the help. They see you as a different class of woman. They don't see you as the woman they'll take shopping. They don't see you as a woman they're going to spoil. That's why you don't see any more cooking videos on my page. And that's why I tell women to be gold diggers. Don't be the help. Anyways, so the string that broke the camel's back is when I had posted the final cooking video years ago, he got into my DMs and said, "Oh, I made you." Come again? Just like that. I made you. What's his comment? Girl, the next time I date, I'm going to lie and say I don't cook or clean, laugh my A off. He better like me for me and learn how to wash the dishes and be a chef. Girl, yes, he did. I still have the messages to this day because I never delete a good receipt, honey. I sent it to my cousin because I was in disbelief. I was in disbelief that a grown man in his 30s that has been asking me to borrow money, that doesn't pay money back, that claimed he make $175,000 a year but could not pay money back on time, was asking me to borrow money, not paying it back, and then had the audacity to say, "I made you." And I feel like if you made me, why didn't you make yourself? Let me grab my charger real quick, y'all. Maybe it's over here. Did y'all put anything in the comments? Oh, shoot. I turned the camera. Hold on. Ooh. What y'all laughing at over here? No, he didn't. Okay, no comments. Oh, shoot. As long as my DJI is okay, I'm fine. Okay. That's my dryer, y'all. Hold on, I gotta get my charger because my laptop is saying it needs to be charged. Well, I'm being irresponsible because I don't know where my charger is. I just got back from Florida, y'all. This is a charger. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not finna look for this charger, y'all. I'm just finna I'm finna wrap this video a little faster. So anyways, that was the straw that broke the camel back. When I seen this man text me and say he made me, I finished that friendship right then and there because that reminded me of like envy to the point where someone will take your life. For you to boldly say to me as a woman, "I made you," for you to boldly say that to me as a woman, you're a man. You can't birth anything. You can't give birth or create life in any capacity. But you're saying to another adult, "I made you." That made me feel like ownership, possessiveness, entitlement. Those are very dangerous characteristics to have towards a woman, especially as a man. So I was like, that is the biggest red flag ever. It's time to cut this person off. When I go home for the holidays, I don't even tell him I'm home. If I run into him, I run into him. But I'm not about to allow a man that has shown me so many poor quality characteristics about him try to have ownership over me. That's weird. I'm trying to angle this since it fell. So that's another reason why I feel like men that borrow money from women or even ask women to go half or dig in their purse, they're dangerous to society. In my humble opinion, they're dangerous. So the next thing I want to talk about was the power of saying no and walking away. It's easy to say no, but the problem is a lot of y'all, the reason why people don't take y'all no seriously is because they know you're coming back. The reason why people don't listen to you the first time when you speak, they know you're coming back. I'm low battery on my phone and my laptop, so this is not going to be too much longer. Y'all don't know how to say no and actually walk away. When y'all say no, it's no for as long as you can go no contact, and then you're going to be right back in their life. I know this for a fact because every time I cut off a man, he's shocked that I cut him off. Like he's literally like discombobulated, like in disbelief that I have cut him off. I don't have to get an explanation. I don't have to have a sit down. I don't have to, I don't have to do closure. We don't have to have this whole consultation. Going no contact to me means I'm done with you. I don't go no contact to prove a point. I go no contact because I've learned my lesson and I'm ready for my next lesson. I'm someone that likes to see progress. And if I don't see progress, then this is not going to work for me. I love to see progress. I love to see things develop into something else, to something healthy, to something better. A lot of y'all are only good at no contact because it's for a short amount of time. You know, in your heart, you're going to go back to that man. You know, in your heart, you're going to pick up the phone one day or find an excuse. You know, you're going to go through his social media and look for a reason. I used to do it too. I'm so guilty of it. I used to pick up the phone and hang up, and that would trigger him to call me, but really he just called me back. And I'd be like, oh, I didn't mean to call you. But that was so childish of me. But once I let go of that childish thing, it was so hard for him to believe I was really done, because now I wasn't calling like I used to. I wasn't checking on you like I used to. I wasn't on your social media like I used to. The thing is, I'm really, really good at making peace with the situation, with how everything unfolded. I'm really good at looking at your behavior and saying, okay, they want to treat me like this. It's time for me to leave. Like, we're done here. There's nothing for us to discuss. You showed me exactly how you feel about me with your actions. Let me be a smart woman, accept your actions, but I don't have to accept your disrespect. What is this? Oh, yeah, I'm on 20% with my phone, so I got to wrap this up. And I'm on 18% with my laptop. Well, I knew I was going to be on live long. I don't know. Oh, it's almost been an hour. I learned so much more by telling people no, by taking away my yes, by saying no thank, and making it a full sentence. The reason why people want an explanation when you say no is because they don't respect your no. The reason why you need to explain yourself is because your no in their eyes is not enough. But it's so crazy that when you say yes, they can agree to everything. Y'all buddy. It took me a long time, but I definitely became this person. That part, no. None talks about how hard it is to get rid of certain people when you finally learn how to set boundaries and they can't accept it. They were used to your yes. That's why I had this laptop. I forgot I was supposed to play this song for y'all. I had to become that person. I was never her initially. I was a people pleaser. I was a Barbara the Builder. I dated men below my standard. I would dig in my purse and I didn't want to. When a man asked me, I had a 40-year-old man ask me to go half on a hotel before. That's when I had to look in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me? What am I projecting that men are comfortable? There are some women in the world that never, ever, ever get asked to go in their purse for stuff. There are women in the world that have never been in situationships. When I start to look at myself and say, what is it about me? I'm not going to keep saying it's these men ain't this, man. I'm going to look at me. You know the saying, fool me once or twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times or more, shame on me. There was something in me that was allowing men to feel comfortable enough to ask me for stuff that they shouldn't feel comfortable asking me. Once I started to check myself, my aura, my energy, and I started to make my no show up in the form of action, I started to get better results. I started to yield better results. When I started to say no with my action and close my mouth, that's when I started to attract the men that would never ask me those silly questions, that would never try to figure out how much I make, that only asked me what I did for work just to make sure I wasn't a stripper. That's when I stopped dating men that brag about making all this money, but they need my help. Your independence, your need to please is attracting the lowest of low in people, in relationships, in family. They know they can come to you because you're a people pleaser, you're going to do it. They know they can come to you and use you, and you're not going to even think of it as being used. You think it's a friendship, but it's not. They're using you. I'm sorry to tell you that. Can I get some emojis in the chat? Y'all still with me? I know they still with me in YouTube, but TikTok, y'all kind of dry tonight. How do you get rid of 50-50 dudes? Stop responding. Now, a word from Beyonce. I'm going to fast forward it because Beyonce got this crazy intro. Yes, we can be together, but you got away from me the first time I said no. It's like I never said yes. I said yes, we can be. Anyways, mind you, y'all, this song came out in the 90s. And what that song, it wasn't until I got older I realized what she was saying in the song. Basically, the song is saying, I've always said yes. And the first time I said no, it's like I never said yes. And that's what I've been experiencing with people when I tell them no. When they ask me for something and I say no, the reaction they give me is as if I've never said yes to anything before. Is it as if I'm being difficult? What time is it there? It is 7:26 p.m., 7:29 p.m. But you know, it's dark. The time change. It's dark here. I started to learn so much about myself as a woman when I started to tell people no. And you know, here's another manipulation tactic. When you tell them no, they're going to resort to name calling. Yeah. It's another manipulation to get you to say yes. The first time I said no, it's like I never said yes. Yes, girl, I know you know the song. When I started telling people no, then they resorted to name calling. I got called mean. I got called bitter. Every time I said no, it's 1:30 a.m. there. Where are you? So true. I said no, and he called me phony. Yeah, that's going to be next in line. When you say no, no explanation. When you start explaining your no, you're over explaining yourself. Like I had a birthday dinner last year, and this girl that I thought I was really cool with, my first friend in Houston, she's giving me this whole elaborate, okay, hey, London is in the building, London, United Kingdom. She gave me this elaborate reason why she couldn't be at my birthday dinner, but everybody else's birthday she was at. I don't get mad at stuff like that. I take that as a sign that I need to take a few steps back because this friendship is not as what I thought it was. I shouldn't be so close to this person. No can just be no. You don't have to over-explain. You know why y'all over-explain? Because you feel like you have to explain something to validate your no. You're trying to validate your no. I was told I didn't care about our relationship and I was, what? Unloving. You're gonna get called names. I just told you that. Whenever you tell someone no, in order to gain the power back and manipulate you into a yes, you're gonna get called a name. This is the name that they called you. They called you unloving. They're gonna call you something. How are they gonna get you to say yes? They're gonna call you something they know you're not, so that way they can manipulate you into doing something for them. Because in their mind, you're supposed to please them. So when you don't please them, they're thinking to themselves, what's wrong with her? Why doesn't she want to please me? I said, no, thank you. No, sorry, to avoid explaining to myself. Exactly. I got a comment over here. How long have you been live? It's the guilt trip for me. A while, child. But I'm on 15% battery, so I'm not going to be live too much longer. And my phone already told me I'm at 20%. So not too much longer, darling. When I started to say no, the very next tactic was they're going to call you a name. They're going to call you a name because now you don't represent how they see you in their mind. You don't represent the people pleaser. You don't represent the person that's going to be there through it all. Now you're being stubborn. Now you're being difficult. Now you're being hard-headed. You're being all of these things they don't want. But really what they're telling you is, how dare you be selfish? I'm the selfish one. You can't stand up for yourself. How am I supposed to get something out of you if you stand up for yourself? That's the whole purpose of changing to name calling. When they call you a name, you say thank you, and that's it. And you keep on with your day. You're unloving. Thank you. And that's it. It doesn't have to be a drawn out battle. This is not a duel. You guys are not, fencing and getting the sticks and playing with, it's not that. It's so they can gain control and get the yes out of you. It's just a manipulation tactic to make the long story short, okay? Say no more often. You're going to discover the people that are in your corner are only in your corner because you benefit, because you give. You give more than most people will. When you start saying no, you're going to really see how valuable you really are. People are going to act like you're not that valuable. It's so that they can get something from you for free. It's so you give what's valuable for free. But once you start saying no, you're going to see a whole different side of people that you would have never experienced if you said yes. Yes, and never argue back only leads to grasping onto one thing you said. I'm sick, so I know I gotta take some night medicine. To wrap this up, I have learned more from the men that I date when I started saying no. When they started saying, when am I gonna see you? And I said, why don't you book the ticket? Instead of me saying, okay, yeah. Now I would put the ball back in their court. I'm like, why don't you do it? When they would be like, hey, I wanna come see you. I'm like, okay, where are you gonna take me? Wanna come see you is not planning a date. When am I gonna see you is not planning a date. So I would start to say, well, where are you going to take me? Before I say yes. When men are asking your availability, keep it short. Even with family, y'all, I just was home for Christmas. I didn't expect to be home for Christmas. I booked my flight on like December 2nd. I had no plans to be home for Christmas. My family was telling me how much they miss me. One of my cousins was talking about how for Thanksgiving, that's when she missed me the most, because when the food was done being cooked, they had a hard time cleaning everything up. And I looked at her and I said, so you miss my labor, not me. My other cousin, who's like the complete opposite of her, was like, no, we missed you having your camera. You always come with the vibe. You always capture the moment. So we have stuff to post. We have like memories we can look back on. There are two different people in the world. There are people that are going to want you in their life for the labor and the value they can extract from you. And then there are the genuine people that want you in their life because they just love you, who you are, and what you bring to the table, but they love you, not just what you can bring. Even if those things, that's my washer, y'all. Everything is telling me get off live. So I really feel like I shouldn't be on live much longer. My my dryer is done drying my sheets. My laptop is at 13%. My phone is at less than 20. These are signs. There are two different people in the world. There are people that love you in their life to use you, and there are people that love you in their life so they can love you back. I started learning the difference when I started telling people no. The more I told people no, the more I started to be able to figure out who was there to love me and who was there to love what I can do for them. There's a big, big, big difference. I feel like if I would have said no the way I say no now, I would have never been in situationships. The moment a man reaches to touch my hand, the moment he tries to be intimate and doesn't have a plan in place and I say no, I would have stopped it from the beginning, but because I was a people pleaser, because I'm thinking having something is better than nothing, because I thought having a huge amount of people in front of your face, following, all that stuff meant something. That means nothing. It's about the amount of people you can pick up and call the phone and get to pray for you, not pray on you. There's a difference. Praying for you is going to God and making sure you're okay. Praying on you is to get everything they can out of you and they leave the moment you want something in return. The more I started telling people no, and I stopped bringing my value up front, and I made them work for my yes. The moment I started making people work for my yes, I started to get so much respect. Y'all, I'm not even kidding. It got to the point where I don't even have to say no with my mouth, with my words. I can say it with my actions. That's how good I got at my no. This is a really good time for you. Pray for us versus pray on us. Yes, exactly. This is a really good time. We're going into the new year. Y'all need to learn to say no to them big old mukbang plates of food. Y'all need to say no at every turn up and turn around and look at your life. There are a lot of people you're not even supposed to be friends with, because being friends with that person is keeping you in your situation. That person does not wish you well. You think they wish you well? Pleasant night all. That person doesn't wish you well. They like what you can do for them. They like that they can use you and you're going to do it. They don't like you for real. They're not your friend for real. You're in that situationship because that person doesn't like you for real. They like what you can do for them. You're struggling with family because they don't like you for real. They like what you can do for them. There are people that are friends with you because you're just an aesthetic. You look good when it's time to go out and take a picture. But they talk about you behind your back and you don't even know they talk about you until somebody else knows your business that you didn't tell. That's another reason why I had to cut off some friendships. If you're constantly coming to me and you're talking about another person, I have no chance in hell. You talking about me too. There's no way you have an on and off switch. I had to learn. But guess how I learned it? By saying yes too many times. By constantly saying yes, I learned, dang, this person not my friend. Because when I said no, it's like that Beyonce song I played for y'all earlier. The first time I said no, the first time I said no, it's like I never said yes. It was the end of the world for them. It was like, oh my God, you really saying no? They felt so entitled to my yes because I gave it away so freely. They felt so entitled to my yes. I have men that contact me years later, even though I already went 2 years and not responded to every advance they made towards me. Now that I started to learn to say no, now that I put myself on a higher pedestal and I know my boundaries and I know my worth, now people started to respect me and look at me different. Now I was changing their brain chemistry of how they saw me. They didn't see me as the girl they can run over. They saw me as being difficult. But remember, I told y'all, when you start telling people no, they resort to tactics of name calling you to get what they want out of you. It's just a tactic. Once I stopped caring about the name calling and the you this, you that, you're being bitter, you're being difficult. You know, they love to throw those titles on Black women. You're being difficult. You're being rough. Blah, 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 blah. It's just to manipulate us into something. That's it. Once I started to figure out, can I get some more likes on the live though? Because I see 47 people, but I don't see no likes. That's crazy. That math don't make no sense. That math ain't mathing. I need to see the girl math. Where are the likes? Can I get some emojis in the chat? Am I talking to myself? I haven't gotten a comment since Pleasant Night, all. Like, y'all sticking with me, y'all rock with me. What's up? But you also start attracting the right people that don't expect yes every time. See, this is why I love interactions. I agree with this comment. This is on YouTube, 100%. When you start saying no because we're listening, but interact with me while you listen. You dropping gems. I just got here. My bad. I'm taking notes. It's like trash taking itself out. It is. I'm definitely listening. When you start saying no, you're going to attract the people that want you in their presence because guess what? Now they know you're not a people pleaser just like them. Now they know all the friends you have are actually of quality because people can take your yes and they can take your no. Okay, I just got here too. When you start saying no, it's going to open up your world to a whole group of better people. Just got here. What's the topic? The topic is the power of ... But we're talking about the power of no. And then we're interacting with one another. When you start telling people no, you're going to attract better quality people. I know it doesn't make sense. Why is it when I'm a nice girl, I attract losers? Because that's the only way a man can be a loser in your presence is if you're a nice girl that gives everything up and gives everything away freely. He's a loser. He doesn't know how to have success. He doesn't know how to work hard for things. You'll be a representation of his easy life. Okay? But when you're firm, when you have standards and boundaries and you say no, you're going to attract quality men that don't mind working for you. You're going to attract quality friendships of people that respect your no. And they're not going to call you fake because at least they know your no is no and your yes is yes. You're going to have more respect from your family. Like I was telling y'all, I just went home for the holidays. I just got back yesterday. My cousins were telling me they missed me. The only way they realized my value, well, they knew my value, but they really felt my value is because my absence, because I moved to Texas. This is my first time home since I moved to Texas. So I haven't been home for the last 3 years. So before that, they were so used to me and everything I did. Now that my presence was gone, now that my absence is gone, they saw the gap that I left. Girl, them and easy life while they find one. We don't want to distract your thoughts. Thank you, girl or guy. Okay. Yes, you'll attract someone on your level and not below you trying to pull you down. Exactly. And that also goes for relationships. When I started to be firm and gentle. You can say no and be a lady. You don't have to no. You can be a lady in your no. You can just be gentle. At my big age, I am starting to find middle ground with this topic. Girl, at my big age too. That's why I'm on live. You're not alone. When I started to tell men no, I started to attract better quality men that respected my no. I started to realize the men that I was so used to saying yes to, when they try to come back in my life, they didn't even fit. I didn't even like the version of myself that I was with those men, because it was a reminder that I was a people pleaser. Ooh, I'm at 10% battery, y'all. My phone just told me. Wrap this up. I don't even like the Melinda I was when I was dating those men and situationships with those men, because it reminded me that I was a pushover. They can get anything they want out of me. I'm a different Melinda. And there are people that are not going to like the change in you because, again, they can't benefit from you. Of course, they're going to get mad. They can't get stuff out of you anymore. You're not beneficial to them, but you will have so many better quality friendships, relationships with your family when you evolve so much. They aren't even appealing. Exactly. I looked at this man in disgust. This is why it's so easy for me to not look at ex-lovers' Instagrams. I look at them like I was the crackhead. What was wrong with me? Why did I want this man to commit to me? Ew, look at him. So many people look good on paper, but when you take them off paper and you take them on, hold on, y'all. If y'all can give me a second to find my charger, I can stay live longer. I don't know where my charger is. Where are you, charger? Where art thou? I just got back home and I didn't unpack. I don't know where anything is. Give me like 2 seconds. If I can't get the charger, oh well. Dang. I feel like it's supposed to be over here. Or maybe it's not here. It gotta be here. No, it gotta be here. Hey y'all, guess what I found? I found my charger. Ugh. Y'all gonna hate me. Girl, you need to get your charger. Oh my God, help me, Lord. Am I gonna make it in time? Hold on, y'all. I gotta get this other one charged. Okay. Ah! Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, we found the laptop charger. Hold on, the phone is going next. Oh Jesus. Oh, y'all lucky. Because I had no idea for the last 2 days. I have no idea where these chargers been. I have been I've been inside. I went to go get my hair done yesterday, child. I went to go get my hair done yesterday after I got off the plane. And I came home after that. I've been on cold medicine ever since. I'm sick, by the way, y'all. Oh shoot. Oh, my phone just told me I'm on 10% again, but I just charged it. Is my laptop charging? My laptop is charging. Okay. Let us continue, y'all, for a little longer. The more you tell people no, I'm telling y'all, keep liking the live, keep commenting. It's charging now. Boundaries often hold a mirror to people they don't like. Exactly. When I started telling people no, and I started being firm in my boundaries, and I stopped trying to be the girl that planned the date, the girl that just take anything from anybody, I started to attract quality men. I know it sounds crazy. Like, why is it that when I'm the nice girl, I attract trash men? Why is it that a man that beat women always finds a woman he can beat? He always has a victim he can dig his claws into. Does your opinion of giving people silence like as a no? I think it's better that you give your no with your actions instead of silence, because a lot of people think that when a woman is silent, she's just being emotional. You know, women we're really good at the silent treatment. But if you know how to give no with your actions, you're gonna see such a change. I'm eating. Don't want to get chicken grease on my iPad. Arthur, we know you in the building. We love some Arthur, y'all. We love Arthur. He's for the girls. He's very supportive. But yeah, everybody else except for Arthur, who's eating chicken. Like the live and comment. Talk to me. Conversation. Arthur, keep the chicken grease off the iPad. Please, sir. Por favor. Anyways, another thing I learned when I started telling people no is that it's going to change the way they see you, and they're going to try to act like they changed just so they can get access again. Y'all listening? They're going to put on a show. They're going to act like they changed. They're going to reach out to you months, maybe even years later, and hope you forgot how trashy of a person they are. They're going to come back months, maybe years later, and act like times have changed. They're going to act like they've seen the light. Hey, I was just looking at old pictures of us. How you been? Miss you. But here's the thing. If they could not respect you when you were there in front of their face, they're never going to respect you. Okay. And this is so true. And when you bring up what they were supposed to do, here goes the name calling again. You think someone can truly change? I think it's a full-time job changing yourself. Damn. Okay. What did this person say? I've tried to silence, and it seems to make people think they still have a chance. Yes, to manipulate you. It's hard at first, but once you learn to say no firmly, you'll be a fan. Laugh my butt off. It's freeing. It's true. I learned to say no with my actions, not my words. Stop the silent treatment, ladies. Let them know they messed up. And here's the thing. Women are so used to auditioning. Well, my charger's fighting for its life, y'all. Oh, is she even charging? Hold on, y'all. It's fighting for its life. It's literally fighting for its life. It's not even charging. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay. Oh, it's still not charging. Okay, maybe if I don't move. I told my sister no, and she had a fit. She didn't hug me for Christmas. She got me a gift though. Girl, they'll be all right. The thing with family is they stuck with you. But the thing is you wanna make sure the dynamic is healthy. Just because people be thinking just because you family, they can treat you any kind of way, you gonna stay there. This man is so blocked. He's emailing me at this point. Does that mean he changed? No. I just told you. They will act like they changed just so they can gain access. Sometimes people come back so they can do you worse than what they did the first time. Sometimes that round two, they're trying to finish you off. It's them coming back because their ego. You hurt their ego. Men have really, really big egos. Women have egos too. I had to learn that about myself. I had a huge ego. Once I was able to pick up on my ego, I was able to check her. Men have huge egos. Men will end a life if they feel disrespected. That's how big their egos are. And their egos are fragile. I've had men openly admit this to my face. Oh my God, that's exactly what he's trying to do. No, how you check your ego. Oh, Lord. That's a deep conversation, honey. Think about all the things you think you're entitled to. Okay, I've been here for every time. She will be back. Okay, this is how I checked my ego. I used to feel entitled to a certain type of man, a certain type of look, a certain type of aesthetic. That's what I'm going to say. I used to feel like I was entitled to a certain type of aesthetic of a man because of who I think I am, right? But then when I flipped the roles and I said, would I date me if I were a man, not a woman? Because if I were a woman, which I am, I'd hit it from the back raw and missionary. But if I were a man, would I date me? And I told myself, no. That's how I knew it was my ego, my entitlement. Why do I say no? Because I'm not as in shape as I can be. I'm not as disciplined as I can be. Women are only able to control their sexual nature because we're shamed if we have multiple partners. Men are not shamed for it. That's why they lack self-control and they're lustful. But I told myself I could be better at picking a partner. I could be better at dating. I'm too much of a perfectionist when it comes to dating. So it would be hard to date me as a man because little things turn me off. I'm talking about dirty fingernails. Ew, I don't want to date you. That's how I am. So I had to check my ego and I had to start saying, be a better, well-rounded person. Don't feel entitled to things just because the way you look. A lot of these men are telling you you look good so they can get you to open your legs and you don't even look that great. I just have to be honest. When I start looking in the mirror and saying I can be better at a lot of things, and I got to remove my entitlement and come with results versus entitlement, that's when I knew it was my ego. My ego needed to be checked. I hope that helps. You know what? You're right. Because as women, we think we just put on some makeup, lipstick, lashes, a prostitute of a dress, we can get any man we want. That's not true. Some of us don't have a real relationship with God. That's why we want a man. We pray for a man, but we don't pray for anything else. We don't pray for our family. We don't thank God for our health. We don't thank God for our good looks. We just say, God, send me a man to take my mind off of everything. Men want princess treatment too nowadays. They do. But I'm just talking about my ego. I was answering a question from the ego thing. Okay, advice for how to keep your distance and avoid arguing about inconsiderate man, baby. I can't move yet. Well, your first problem is you just openly admitted you can't move. Let me tell you how in this comment on TikTok, you just told yourself 3 different times that you can't move yet. Let me tell you, let me just show you what you just did to yourself. If the Bible says the mouth is where the power is, okay? There's power in your words, right? I'm the same way, but he's not a 10 either. Aren't we perfect together? I don't know how to answer that. Aren't we told that ego is negative? Ego is negative if you don't check it. But I need to answer this comment. Advice on how to keep your distance and avoiding arguing about an inconsiderate man, baby, but can't move on yet. Let me tell you how you just put a spell over yourself 3 different times. You said it to yourself. You typed it in the chat. Then you made me read it out loud. You're literally channeling and treating your brain and telling your brain that you can't move on when you can. But you keep telling yourself all the terrible things that you're accepting because you said you can't move on. You're not a tree. Why can't you move? Why can't you move? You're literally not planted into anything. You're a physical human being. You're not like an animal. You weren't born a dog and that's all you're meant to be. You weren't born a cat and that's all you're meant to be. She did and then written it, so shall it be done. Exactly. You said it to yourself. Before she wrote it, she said it to herself, y'all. Our thoughts don't come out of thin air. We say them to ourselves first. Then she wrote it in a message to me. And then she had me read it out loud for her to hear a 3rd time. All you're doing is conditioning yourself to accept that poor behavior. You're saying all these things. He's a man, baby. Y'all argue, but you can't move yet. You just trained yourself to stay and accept that. Literally. When you choose yourself, moving it on is never hard. Moving on is going to be a challenge. Girl, you manifesting. I'm just telling you what you did to yourself. I be trying to come on here and talk to y'all nice, but sometimes y'all be wanting me to get rowdy. Y'all like tough love, and I don't want to do tough love right now. My throat is sore. I just told y'all I'm still getting over something. It's vitamin C. It's emergency in here with some water, okay? Oh, you were saying she's manifesting it on herself. Yup. Girl, I'm in a situationship like that in which a man will not leave. So I'm going to leave. I live a life single already and and look at his as a roommate while I get my money together and move out. Get a plan together and think of your future without him. Start planning life as a single woman. You know what you should be doing? I don't believe situationships are real. I believe it screams that you don't have enough self-esteem. And I only say this because I was in one before. I was in many before. But I have not been in a situationship in over 3 years. So I think I know what the hell I'm doing. Y'all think I can't get a man? Look at me. Y'all think I can't get a man? No, I can get one of those. I can get a man. But to put myself in a situationship would be an insult to myself. And I'm holding your hand when I say this, girl. A situationship is just you and that man agreeing that you're not worth a relationship. A situationship is just agreeing that man, you like that man more than you like yourself. Because why did you allow that to happen? And I'm saying this with love because I've been in a situationship. I know a situationship is just like a relationship. The only thing is no one has confirmed it's a relationship. And the reason why no one's confirmed the man that it's a relationship is because you haven't held him to the standard of having to confirm it's a relationship. If you stopped everything you're doing, and this is how I got my power back in my no. Y'all be thinking y'all not powerful, If you weren't powerful, why does that man keep coming around to bother you? Do men ever go to women that have nothing to offer them? Do men ever do that? Seriously, speaking life into yourself by saying, I'm not stuck, agreeing to give without any commitment. Exactly. How long till it's considered situationship? More than a month. More than a month. Y'all be thinking men go to women that have nothing to offer. That man would not be in your face if you had nothing to offer. You just don't know how much you have to offer, and that's why you're in a situationship. You're opening your legs like a wife, and he's not opening his wallet like a husband. You're probably giving him head, you're giving him oral, and you don't know who else he's sticking it in and then putting it in your mouth. You're opening up your body to so many things spiritually and physically because you like that man more than you like yourself. You like that man more than you like your peace. You like that man more than you like your financial stability. How can I figure out how to leave? Because I can leave and be happy at peace. Here's your problem. Okay, I love y'all and I'm sick, so I can't go ham. I'm going to be gentle. Girl, I just stopped talking to a guy asking me to cook for him. I had a guy ask me to cook, girl. I looked at him and laughed. Yes, it's true 100%. That's why it's a lot as a woman healing ourselves. Here's the thing. You gave yourself like it was a relationship. Let's be honest. So you think it's a relationship. I'm holding your hand. I'm saying this with love. Okay? Listen, stop. Every time you ask me a question on live, you're always saying something defeating yourself. That's why you haven't left that man. You don't believe in yourself and you're sick. You're showing us through the comments, your finances, your this. Who were you before you met this man? You don't even know the answer to that. That's why you keep talking about yourself in such a piss poor manner. I was in your shoes. I dated a man for 6 years that paid all my bills, y'all. All my bills. He bought me a car cash. He bought me the latest iPhone. He bought me jewelry from K Jewelers cash. He paid all my bills for 6 consecutive years. I never had to dig in my purse for nothing. I remember living with him, not paying not one bill, making the lowest amount of money I ever made in my life. And you know what clicked for me? I had to start to say, how do I get out of this? Stop saying my finances. This, where did you find him? What does it matter? I left. What does it matter where I found him? I left him. Next question. I was with that man 6 years. He paid all my bills. I lived with him. My mom told me not to move out. My mom told me stay home. I love the financial stability. I had, man, my friend, I'm talking about, I would pull up to my friend's house in his car before he bought my car cash, and none of them had cars. So I was the it girl. Sometimes I pull up with a brand new pair of shoes he just bought me. I didn't even have a chance to try them on. The shoes are in the back seat of the car. And I'm like, I'm pulling up. I said, look what my man just bought me. I was always pulling up with the latest. He would take me to my hair appointment, drop me off, pick me up, pay, and tip the stylist. My stylist would be looking at me like, girl, he a keeper. I don't know how much he was tipping, but I know he was tipping. He used to take me to my vocal lessons and pay, and he was tipping my vocal coach $1,000. Okay? I've been where you are. I need a man that will pay bills. That's why I'm asking. I know what you're saying, but I'm trying to address the question of a girl trying to leave a relationship. So you're making me give contradicting advice, telling her to leave, but then telling you how to get a man to pay bills, girl. Like one thing at a time. I'm trying to get to all y'all. I've dated a man that pays all the bills and I had nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. This is kind of why when I got back into dating, I came off really spoiled and entitled because I was thinking, you're fine, girl. I'm not trying to be rude, Zodiac life. I'm just trying to answer the questions. What made you leave him? We had different beliefs religiously. He wanted to praise God a way that I could not agree with. When I finally decided it was time that relationship ended, I had to think to myself, how do I get out? You keep thinking, oh, what you're leaving behind. You're not leaving anything behind. You're leaving yourself on the table. You don't believe in yourself. That's why you're still with that man. You don't believe in yourself. I can tell because I used to be you. That's why I know the symptoms. Same thing with you on YouTube with the situationship. And I'm telling y'all this with love. When you start asking yourself, how do I get out? Then the answers are going to come to you. I ended up applying for a different job. It was a job that paid me the most amount of money at the time. Yes, he paid all the bills, but it's not worth my peace. Start asking yourself, how do I get out? Stop telling me all these things that he does and he's a man, baby. You with that man, baby. So what does that make you? Y'all be trying to think, y'all talking bad about a man, make the man look bad. It make you look bad because you picked that man. You're saying you're in a situationship. It make you look bad because you picked that man. Y'all think y'all come online and say men ain't this. It make you look bad because you picked that man. I just want you to know that. Okay, I'm not slow. There are women that come on here and never have to be in a situationship, never have to touch a bill, never get hit, beat on because they picked right. Y'all don't know how to pick right. Y'all picking men because y'all don't want to pick yourself. Start picking yourself. Start getting into activities. Start doing things that you've never done before so you can figure out what you love. Fall in love with life. Can't be comfortable and wanting to leave at the same time. You have to choose what you want. And I'm going to pin that comment. You got to pick. There's never going to be a good time to leave. When I left that man, his mom was going through a divorce with their 12-year-old brother. His dad came to the house and shot at the mom 10 times and 2 bullets hit her arm. I was there that night. I was the one to call the police. It's never a good time to leave. We broke up 4 months after that night. We were on the news. We had to go to court. I had to testify against his dad. Imagine having to do all that, knowing you live with this man and his mom could have passed away in that house. So that's why I don't be listening to y'all comments. How do I leave this man, baby? I'm in a situationship. I've been fully committed, finances tied up in a man. His dad tried to do attempted murder, and I had to figure out how to leave still. I've had it worse than you, and I still figured it out. That's why I don't have a lot of empathy in this area of situationship and man, baby, and men that don't treat you right. I've had to fight and get through fire and come out like gold. I don't have no empathy for you. You're in that situation because you want to be in it. I literally started applying to jobs, tears in my eyes, knowing I have to testify against this man's dad who tried to take his mom's life. The man that I'm in love with, that I thought I was going to have a future with, okay? I'm embarrassed to take responsibility, but how I feel and think are 2 different pages. Exactly. The delivery is important. People don't hear sugarcoat. I can't sugarcoat, but my throat is dry. I'm getting over a fever or something. Yes, the world will open up in ways you never imagined. Family, leave and start loving yourself. Like when I got out of that situation, I started to discover myself. I would get on Eventbrite. I would go to random events by myself because I wanted to just get my mind off of the fact that I just broke up with the love of my life, the man that bought me a ring at K Jewelers. I'm thinking we're one step closer to marriage, and we're not. I had no idea God had these plans. And he comes to me telling me that he believes in a different God. He wants to praise God differently, and it conflicted with my beliefs. Can I see your nails? Yes, you can. Here go my nails, child. Here go my nails. I've had to walk through fire, okay? You can leave that man. You just don't want to. You don't believe in yourself enough that you can leave that man. That's why you're on my live asking me about a man. You know you're not leaving tomorrow. You know you're not leaving next week. You're going to be there next week. You're going to see me on live next week. And you're not even going to tell me you left him for real. You're going to be right beside him asking me how to leave him. I know you're kind because I've been your kind before. So I know the symptoms of when a woman is really done, what he wants to worship. Now, what difference does it make if I go into this elaborate thing of how we were different? Who does that serve? Girl, did you catch that new FL flu? I've been here too. Girl, I think so because I was just in Florida. Anyways, the next question you were asking, how did I meet? Somebody else was asking me, how did I meet him? Because you want a man to pay your bills. I met him at a house party. I was 19 at the time when I met him, but it's not about meeting a man that pays the bills. It's about meeting a man that's generous. Yeah, just leave. If it's on your mind and you need to push and pull leaving, just leave. Okay, at the meet. I don't know what you mean. It's not about finding a man that's going to pay your bills. It's about finding a generous man, okay? I didn't know he was generous. I met him at a house party. I didn't know he had money. I just met him at a house party. I was just out with my friend, 19 at the time. We turned up at a house party. Hey, Renee, girl, we had a house party. We turning up. That's how I met him. My friend grabbed him and dared me to talk to him. I wasn't even trying to, nothing. And within 2 months, he asked me to be his girlfriend. Within 4 months, I met his entire family. Okay. So when you're telling me the story of you're in a situationship, you're dating a man, baby, how do I leave? You don't love yourself enough to leave. You don't have enough projects and things to look forward to in your life. You keep thinking about a life with him. That's why you don't want to leave. When you stop thinking about a life with a man that you know is not your man, then you're going to have that real heartbreak where you cry about it because you know it's over, but you're still there. Because women, we stay physically, but mentally we left. I think that's where you are. I think mentally you're leaving, but physically you're still there. And now you just got to do that hump where you just leave, where you physically leave. I have never in my life regretted leaving a man to this day. I have never in my life regretted leaving a man. I have always regretted staying too long. That's what I can tell you for a fact. I have never in my life regretted leaving a man. I never looked back and said, dang, I should have gave that another chance. Damn, I should, maybe I was being too harsh. Never. I have always regretted that I stayed too long. Okay, how do you deal with, hold on. How do you deal with people pleaser part of them not wanting you to leave? So to answer that question is that you haven't built your backbone. Once you put it in your brain, the last time you said yes, and you're like a mental patient, like I'll never say yes again, then you're gonna have a backbone. Once you realize how saying yes costs you more on the back end, you're gonna stop the people pleasing. You're gonna have a flashback of the last time you said yes and someone played in your face. And you're going to be able to say no fast and firm. You're like, oh, no. Remember what happened last time? Are you the final boss of serial daters? What do you mean? Sometimes you need to ask God to remove him and for you to no longer be distracted with good times. Here go my charger trying to fight for his life, y'all. I know I need a new charger, to be honest. Yeah, I be asking God to remove, but here's the thing. Y'all be asking God to remove and y'all be the ones to go back. You get the ick from people pleasing eventually. You need to be asking God to give you the strength to leave him alone, not take him out. Give you the strength that even if he's right there in front of your face, you don't care. You don't care. When you start looking forward to your future, when you start looking forward to your actual future, if you were dating a man that's doing everything he's not, you know how easy it would be for you to stop thinking about him? You know how easy it would be that every time he comes around, you would tell him stop contacting you? Hold on, y'all. My thing is, am I tightening this or loosening it? Yeah, I'm tightening it. It's because you haven't found it. When I started getting intentional about dating, you know what goes into my mind? The end result. I want that feeling of a man that loved me. I remember what it felt like when a man went to the store and took me so serious, he bought me jewelry. Why would God remove someone from your life he didn't put there? That's a good question. Why would God remove someone from your life he didn't put there? That's another thing. God didn't even put that person there. You did that. You conspiring with Satan. You in your lustful nature. Any man is better than no man. Get what I'm saying? You know how easy it would be for you to leave that man alone if you actually had a man in your life doing right by you? Do you know how easy it would be? You know how hard it was from a man from my past to get a hold of me? Because it's too late. I have already been exposed to quality men that don't ask me to go on my purse and go half on anything. It's too late. I've already dated a man that cared about me so much. He remembered my shoe size from the first date and you couldn't even remember my birthday. It's too late. The moment a good man get a hold of you, you know how hard it will be for your past to come back? It'll be impossible. You want nothing to do with it. You wash your hands of it. You know why? Because you've gotten a taste of the good life. You're literally keeping yourself prisoner there. You're calling him whatever you're calling him, but you're staying. So what does that say about you? It says a lot about you. It says that you're not there yet. You're not who you think you are. You think you're the baddest. Well, you're not. A good man should come get a hold of me, girl, unless your self-esteem is low. Right, I'm hurting. Baby, the moment a good man got a hold of me, child, y'all can't listen. That old stuff can't call me no more. I get offended when it tries to contact me. How many good men have you experienced? What made them good? Well, let's talk about the one I just told y'all about that paid my bills for 6 years. Is he not a good man to take off that burden from me? When he wanted to spend time with me and I had to go to work, he would pay for my wage. So I didn't lose money and call out of work. He helped me get my record expunged so I can get further education. Is that not a good man? How many men do you know come into your life and help you and improve you at their expense and you never opened your mouth or even asked. He's not with you anymore. Why not? Well, you must be new here. I told you for religious beliefs, we had different beliefs in God. That's a big thing. I know people will still marry. I know people that'll convert religions just to marry a man. I can't betray God for no man. I'm sorry. My husband helps me. How many good men do you know that will look at your life and see where you're struggling and help you without you asking? Does that not make him a good man? No? I think you must be new here because I've been saying that for the last 40 minutes. I've literally been saying that for the last 40 minutes. Very amazing man does this. Like, if a man sees that you're struggling and he watches you struggle, he don't like you. He don't like you. And the reason why I say that, because look at his relationship with his mom. If he can, or his sister, okay? Look at the relationship with his mom and his sister. If he can see his mom struggling and he doesn't help her, you're in danger, sis. Run away. TikToker man now, bodybuilder. You look like you ain't built like a bodybuilder. Let me take a look. I have a feeling. Yup. Yeah. Yeah. You might want to slow down, my boy. You might want to slow down. But yeah, like invite guests. I don't know what you want me to invite to. I tell women it's a lot. Men provide. Yeah, I'm good. You good? You must live in a small town where people sleep with their relatives because you don't look good, baby. You wouldn't make it in the markets that I date. Anyways, yes, I tell women this a lot. Men provide for women. They value. I'm telling you, pay attention to his relationship with the women in his life. You should not be trying to change that man and make him something he's not. Who he is who he is. You just should be sitting there inspecting who he is and accepting or leaving. Women love to be so delusional that they'll look at a man for what he is and then see potential. Potential is not real. Potential is delusion. Look at the way he is with his mom. Does his mom struggle? Does he help when she struggles? When his sister struggles, does he offer to help? What makes women valuable to a man? You like men? Big back, do you like men? I feel like you like men because you want to know what makes women valuable to a man. You like men? Tell me. What do men make, like, tell me. Because it sounds like you want women to audition for you. So I don't know how to audition. You gotta tell me the sauce. You're beautiful, thanks. I don't know what I caught when I was in Florida, y'all. Like, before I went to Florida, my ear was already bothering me a little bit. A horse is potential. What? What does that mean? What? I have no idea what you mean. A horse is potential. What do you mean? I'm so confused. My ear was hurting a little bit before I went to Florida, but child, I think I went 4 consecutive days. I was there for 6 days, y'all. I didn't get any sleep. And you know, the worst thing you can do while you're getting sick is what? Not get no sleep, not get any rest. And then I started waking up sneezing. My ex asked me to marry him 3 times. He dated his ex 10 years and never asked her, so why aren't you married to him? And then you said your ex. Why are you mentioning that in this chat? I don't see the value in you saying this. What does that mean? I'm sipping on vitamin C. I've been just spraying myself with medicine. I've been putting this in my nose so I can breathe at night, y'all. Sleep is for a week anyways. What? Are you okay? What made you value? Why do you keep asking women what makes them valuable? And then you're telling me you don't like men. I'm confused. I'm so confused about you, big back. Then you got a whole stack of money that you're holding to your head. People who really have money don't show off their money. They put it in their account and their investments. I'm so confused. She just like you bragging about the past dude. I'm answering questions. I'm not bragging about past dude. I'm asking you. That's how I know you're new to the chat. I'm answering a question that was actually asked. Body built by God, and God is lowercase g. Amazing. Love that for you and your lowercase g God. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The power of no. Okay. Oh, y'all are funny. Yo, it's so funny. Okay, why is everybody laughing? I'm confused. Who are you laughing at? Why are you saying unkind things while talking about God, fruit of the spirit, kindness? I said the God is lowercase g, which is weird. It should be uppercase. The X is at the top right. I think y'all lost. Very. Do you believe in Jesus? Why you got a Jesus piece? You don't even believe in Jesus. That's what Kodak Black says. And a lot of men are going to wear that Jesus chain and haven't opened their Bible in years. Don't pray to God. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all. Y'all got to know the real from the fake. Y'all got to really know. If you can free Matthew 6 to really open my eyes. Matthew 6. That's my song. Who don't like Kodak? I like a few of Kodak's songs, not too much though. Not too much on Kodak. He just bought his mom a restaurant and she was in tears. We drink ginger tea when we get sick like that. Girl, I'm assuming girl. I'm sorry. I'm assuming girl by the name. Specifically 633. That's cool. Matthew 6:33. Back to what I was saying. What did I title this video? Child, I've been on live so long. The power of ... And it was really no. But now we can talk about the power of yes. Your yes is expensive, y'all. Y'all keep acting like being a people pleaser is not expensive. That is the most expensive thing that I did was give away my yes so freely. I don't care for Kodak due to what he said about dark-skinned women. How are you judging hypocrites yet singing Kodak? Be back. I feel like you need something to do. Galatians 5. Okay. So the power of yes, back to the topic. While people, the swine argues in the comment section, the power of yes is going to cost you. Try some lemon, honey, and ginger tea with some turmeric. I've been trying it all. Trust me, y'all. I just landed yesterday, and I've been after I landed, I went right to my hair appointment. Then I came home, and I showered. I knocked out. I've been taking medicine all day. I haven't done anything today, and I have a lot to do. But I'm gonna give myself till tomorrow. Drink some ginger tea as soon as you can. You have the soup with the black. Yeah. Okay, your yes is gonna cost you a lot, y'all. My yes put me in positions that I had no business being in. Me trying to be a people pleaser, me trying to be nice, me trying to be liked, that put me in a dangerous situation. That put me in worse situations than when I said no. You can't be saying yes to everything. You right, I'm ruining the vibe, and you still talking. I think that every time I said yes, it's because I wanted to be, where's the mod? No idea, child. We were having such a great time. Wasn't we earlier, y'all, till they came in? It's always men too, except for Arthur. We like Arthur. Anyways, when I learned that my yes is more powerful than my no, I started to be stingy with my yes. When I realized that every time I was saying yes, it's because I wanted validation. I wanted someone to see me for who I am. I like Arthur too. Hey, Arthur. I had to really get myself together. I had to realize my yes is so powerful that I'm attracting people that are misusing my yes. Every time I was saying yes and it didn't benefit me, and I never put into my brain, why is this person asking me to do this? What is their motive? I was giving a piece of my power away. Your yes is so, so powerful and so valuable. I know people like to make you think in your mind and gaslight you and lie to you, manipulate you and make you think you're worthless, you're not worth it. If you weren't worth it, why do they keep coming around? I had to learn that. Well, sometimes we say yes to be viewed a positive light. Yeah. People say yes because you want to get looked at differently. You want to get looked at as a good girl, a helpful woman. Keep liking the live, y'all. I see 75 of y'all in here. Can I get some likes? Can I get some likes? Your yes is expensive. And when you start asking yourself the right questions, because I remember people asking me to do little things and I never thought about why they're asking me, I would just say yes. It was just like, okay, yeah. Because I wanted to be liked, because I wanted to be valued, I want to be appreciated. You can say no and people are still going to care about you. They're still going to value you. The only people that are not going to value you when you say no are the people that came there to use you anyway. And you can't control that. You're saying yes because you want to be seen as a good girl. You're saying yes because you don't want to come off mean. I know society loves to teach women to be nice girls. Oh, I got a lot of battery left. But you got to stop letting society make you think being a nice woman, being a nice girl means you say yes and you're helpful. Being a good woman means you can take a look at who someone is and know who they are early on before you invest or waste your time. You're right. It's not even worth it. It's not. It's not worth it. And the reason why I say it's not worth it is because how many times have you looked back on your life and you gave someone a chance that didn't even deserve to experience you? Okay, yeah, slow also sometimes costs you your time. Yeah, I think that's the worst thing we can do is waste our time as women. Waste our wonderful years that we could be discovering so many things about ourselves. We're wasting our time. Why? Because we want to be liked, because we want to be seen as good girls, because we want to be seen as helpful. That's so silly to me, y'all. When I decided this, like the third confirmation, when I decided I was okay with being the villain in someone's story, I'm telling y'all, I started to thrive. I started to thrive. I started to get what I actually want and not what was given to me. I'm happier. I'm more full. I feel more abundant. I'm not sitting here letting people play in my face anymore. And also, when you're firm with your yes and your no, people are going to respect you. They don't look at you as some silly girl that's just going to say yes. They're going to value your yes. They're going to value your no. You know why? They're going to be like, dang, she don't do any of that stuff. And she said yes to that. People are going to look at you as a powerful person because you're so limited in how you say and what you say yes to and what you say no to. People are really going to look at you like, dang, she not playing no games. Like her yes is yes, her no is no. Stop trying to be liked. Stop trying to have everybody on your side and be a good girl and say yes to everything. When I started embracing, and I call it my villain era, that's what I call it. When I embraced my villain era and grew a backbone, people couldn't play with me the way they used to play with me. People took my words seriously. Now when I tell a man I'm good, I'm straight off of you, they know I'm so serious. They know there's no coming back from that. I don't attract the men any longer that want to do situationships. I don't attract the men that want to just dabble and play in my face. They don't know if they want to commit to me, but they know they want my body. I don't attract that anymore. I don't attract the men that just want to roll around and have a good time. I actually attract the men that want to get to know me on a deeper level because they see that I'm not going for that. And I don't have to open my mouth and say, I'm not doing that. I'm giving you this amount of time to get your stuff together. They know that I'm not doing that. They see my following go up. They see me following more men. They see me, they don't see me out because I don't ever post when I'm out or on a date, but they see that I'm harder to get a hold of. I'm not responding to texts as much as I used to. I'm getting dressed and going out, but they don't know where I'm going. So, you know what I realized? The human mind, the things that we can concoct in our mind be way worse than reality. When I stop explaining to a man I was done, you're not doing whatever, you don't want to commit to anything, you don't want to make this situationship into a relationship. When I stop doing that, you know what would happen? They will put into their mind that I already moved on, I'm already talking to someone else. They don't seem to sit there and think that I'm single and working on myself. They don't ever think that. They always think the ultimate worst. But then their ego kicks in, and then they want to get back in my face. They want to get back on my good grace. They want to get me auditioning again. They want to act like they're interested, but I see through their games because you didn't value me when I was in front of you. If people don't value you when you're right there in front of them, they're never going to. That's why when y'all tell me, oh, this guy's trying to come back, what do I do? He's coming back to finish the job. He's not coming back to be a better person to you, to make themselves feel better. And I know there are people all around the world that have stories about men that left and came back and they end up getting married. What did they marry though? What did they marry? Did they marry the changed man? Or did they marry the same man they complained about, but at least this time he came with marriage, so I'm going to take it. Don't be looking towards other people's relationships for validation. Don't look towards other people's relationships and compare. You have no idea what's going on behind those doors. You have no idea the stuff that they're putting up with just to be able to say they have a man, be able to take Christmas pictures with that man. You have no idea. You have no idea what's going on. Do you ever notice happily married people are not online giving advice as couples? They're not online putting their business out there. It's because happily married people realize that when you're happily married, you can't let people in your business. Because as soon as they tell you the things they had to forgive to stay happily married, the internet is so quick to say, oh, divorce, leave them now, leave them now. Y'all don't know how to stay married to people and forgive their flaws. Y'all know how to keep going back to situationships, keep going back to disrespect, and have nothing to show for it. I know because I used to do that. But once I started having self respect, I don't do that anymore. Nope. And don't be telling people your relationship business either. Y'all don't even know if I have a man. I love how these men keep trolling me and talking about, oh, she don't got no man. She talking about the past. On God. Even when I had a man, y'all don't even know I had a man. Even if I had one now, y'all would not know I had that man. Why? Because I want to save myself. I want to save myself from people saying, dang, how many men you posted this year? You know, people be keeping track of people you dated and posted online. If that man went missing, I wouldn't post him. Sorry to this man. I'm sorry. I can't risk being embarrassed. I can't risk someone coming to me as a woman. And I want to share this final story time with y'all about 2 situationships before this last one. This man embarrassed his whole girlfriend. So there's this guy I was dealing with. He's in the Kappa fraternity, right? I know y'all finna say, oh, Kappa, you should have known better. Girl, I was in my early 20s. I just got out that relationship with that man that been paying all my bills for 6 years. Arthur, are you doing like the Holy Ghost here? Shana ba. I don't know what you're saying. Shana ba. I don't know. I was in a situationship. I just got out of a serious relationship, and I just want to get my mind off of things. So I was really casual with this guy. We go over to each other's house, and that's all it was, a situationship. We get each other birthday gifts. We take each other out. It was a pleasant situationship. When I finally got the strength to leave, I remember praying to God, God, please help me let this man go. Help me leave this man alone. Left him alone, changed my number, everything. Left him alone completely, y'all. This is a true testament to it doesn't matter if they get in a relationship after you, they're still going to be the same person. This man reached out to me years later, maybe I think a year later or 2, no more than 2 years later. I want to say a year firmly, on Instagram, because he don't have my number. He reaches out to me on Instagram and says, hey, I'm so happy I found your Instagram. I've been trying to get a hold of you, get in contact with you. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? There was no hard feelings when it ended. You know why? Because I walked away silently. I wasn't trying to be on that hoorah, oh, you don't want to commit to me, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't on that. I got to go fast because I got 8% battery on my phone and the charger's not charging for some reason. So I know I got to get off live. We ended up following each other on Instagram that day, and he kept messaging me. He kept trying to come see me. Mind you, he lived all the way in West Palm Beach, like the Wellington area. That's like 45 minutes, almost an hour drive. And he's a football coach. So he coaches throughout the county or whatever. And I just remember I was working on my music video. That's why I tell y'all, when y'all work on yourselves, it's hard for these situationships to get you. It's hard for these good men to get you. When you're working on yourself, when you're focused on you, it's hard for those distractions to get you because you're so invested in who you're becoming that low quality can't touch you. I remember he was really adamant on trying to see me. We exchanged numbers because, again, my number changed. I mean, this man was texting me now. I never seen this man text me the way he was texting me that week. Hey, you busy? Can I come over this day? Can I come over this day? He was literally trying to pick up right where we left off, back into situationship mode. And I wasn't on that. I was working on my music. I was getting my hair done. I had choreography that week. My schedule was so busy, I was not going to squeeze him in to come in with confusion. Can I tell y'all, why did Facebook say people you may know? This is the first time in all the time I known him. Facebook was like making recommendations of people you may know. And it was that same guy, the situationship guy. But remember, Instagram is now with Facebook. So they're the same company. So I guess this is why it was showing me this, because we never followed each other before. So it was like people you may know. And I click on his page and it says such and such just checked into Cancun, Mexico. I thought that was so weird that you're in Cancun and you're not posting about it when you're the kind of flashy guy that posts about it. So I went to his Instagram because we follow each other. There was no stories, no posts, nothing. And I was like, that's weird because why is Facebook saying you checked in to Cancun? I go into my burner account just to find out he's posting. He blocked me from being able to see. He hid his stories. Yup. Pooch, girl, you a smart cookie. He hid his stories from me, y'all. He hid his stories from me. That's what he did. Mind you, it was a situationship. We weren't even in a relationship, but he had just reached out to me a month before that trip, and we were texting all the way up until that trip. So I was like, that's weird. But guess what? On top of him hiding me from his stories, he was tagging the girl that he was with on the trip. Come to find out, that's his girlfriend, y'all. Y'all are begging to be in these situationships, and all these men are going to do, you're just going to get a title of a girlfriend. You're still going to get cheated on. Here's the kicker. They're in Mexico. It's Mother's Day weekend and it's that girl's birthday. I messaged her on my secret account and I was like, hey, I'm sorry. I got to come to you as a woman. Y'all know that text. Y'all know that message. And I messaged her like 3 a.m. Bet she paid for the trip. Possibly, child, because he's a mama boy. That's not even the kicker, y'all. I messaged her and I was so nice about it. I sent her a whole screen recording of all of our messages. Barbara, and this is Shirley. I thought, no, you didn't. Mind you, I was nice. I sent her a whole screen recording of our whole conversation. I didn't have to do that. She started catching the attitude with me, child. You know what she said to me, y'all? She said, these texts don't confirm anything. So I sent her a photo of the last time I was at his house and he was massaging my foot in his bed. Now she mad because you try to call me a liar and said these texts don't prove anything. I was trying to be nice, but now you turned me into a mean girl. I know he was pissed off. She in a situationship herself. Exactly. But only difference is he's claiming her as girlfriend and publicly embarrassing her. That's why I be telling y'all situationships aren't real. There's no difference. The only thing is in relationships, you can hold them accountable, but they still gonna do what they want. So I end up sending her a picture of him massaging my feet in his bed. You can tell it's his bed because everything around is his bed and it's his arm and it's his tattoos and it's his muscles. Now she mad. I try to be nice. You turned me into a mean girl because when I sent you the texts, you didn't believe me. You said that's not enough. Okay, that's not enough. I got something for you. Guess what happened after that? I went back on Facebook because I was trying to figure out why is Facebook recommending him now? Come to find out, y'all, he was a mama's boy. I always knew that about him. He's an only child. His mom buys him everything, down to the sheets on his bed, the watch that he wears. He's a mama's boy. Come to find out, his mom had a GoFundMe page. His mom had a GoFundMe page saying she about to get evicted from her house. The same week that he's in Mexico, his mom just posted a GoFundMe page saying that she's about to get evicted, her and the grandma. Can y'all make donations? I took a screenshot of that GoFundMe page and I waited. I'm screaming. That's crazy. He messaged me. This is how I know he was mad. He never cursed. He never raised his voice. He's a very chill guy. He messaged me saying, you trying to F up my relationship? You bitter. Remember I told y'all when they can't manipulate you, they name call you. He tried to make me seem like I was crazy to the girlfriend, like I was just some crazy girl that can't get over him. Oh, you trying to F up my relationship? I sent a screenshot of the GoFundMe page to him and I said, this your mama? Yeah. Y'all should really pick carefully who y'all want to play with. I'm not one of them ones. And do you see how because I was obedient, when God told me to get rid of that man, I got rid of that man. He came to me. He messaged me on Instagram saying that he couldn't get a hold of me because I changed my number when I left him alone, when I left that situationship. And then how is it that now Facebook is saying people you may know and it's showing me the mom GoFundMe page? Do you think God would have revealed that to me if I wasn't obedient and leaving that man the first time I was told? It may have taken me a few times to leave him, but when I left, favor came in like a flood. I didn't have to go looking for it. It came right to my phone. And guess what? I didn't have any regret finding out he had a girlfriend and he's over there in Mexico celebrating her because I didn't sleep with him. I didn't give him my body again to come back and finish off the job. So when y'all be telling me y'all can't leave these men, y'all don't want to leave these men. And God is telling you because God is trying to save you from something greater, but you don't want to listen. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's why I shared that story. Once I shared the GoFundMe page, oh, he was 38 hot. He became the best rapper alive, y'all. He was saying all this crazy stuff to me. La, 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 la. Just, oh, you bitter, you miserable. How am I bitter and miserable? But you came to my DM trying to get some cat. You were trying to drive an hour away to sleep with me, knowing you're going to be in Mexico with your girlfriend the next month. How am I the bad guy? How am I the bad guy? That's how it is when you don't give them what they want. They're going to call you names, even though they're dead wrong. They're going to name call you. That's a part of the game to make you think you're dead wrong. How much battery I got? Ooh, okay, TikTok, I got to wrap it up. I'm at 2% battery and it's not charging for some reason. So I just came to say the power of no, y'all. See the recap on YouTube. My phone literally about to die. I have the whole recap on YouTube. Click the link in my bio. It's going to take you to YouTube. It's okay to say no. It's okay if they name call you. That's how they manipulate you into a yes. I hope y'all enjoyed my live. Look at some of my content. You are right. You won. Don't sleep with him. That was the beauty. I was obedient to when God told me leave him alone. I didn't sleep with him. I didn't let that situationship continue. God was saving me from all these things I didn't even know was happening in the background. And because I was obedient, I truly believe that was God that handed me all that evidence on a platter to my phone. Like, let me show you how his whole family broke. They got a GoFundMe page. His name is on that house because his mom was trying to build his credit. And now she was being evicted and she's asking online for people to give money while he's on a trip with his girlfriend that he's cheating on. Do you see what God saved me from when I listened? You are wise. You gained a fan. Thank you. Can I get a follow? Can you like some of my content? I would like that more. Follow my page. I have lots of content. I'm not posting as much because TikTok has banned me for some reason, shadow banned me. But I do have the whole live on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. I'm going to end this live. See you on the next video. And thank you, TikTok.